Now let's look what RDBMS means. So a relational database refers to a database that stores data in a structured format using rows and columns. This makes it easier to locate and access specific values in a database. Now, why it is called relational? Because the values within each table are related to each other. And it is quite possible, and it is generally it happens that tables are also related with other tables within a database. Let's try to see the basic understanding of RDBMS. So a data is viewed as in a two-dimensional table, and the table is also known as relations. Now the table consists of a column and rows, which is also known as attributes and tuples. There are other names of it also. We'll come to know about it later on in the next slide. So sometimes the value in the cell of a table may be unknown or may be having no value. Now this is represented by a null. So RDBMS table doesn't only contain the attribute and the tuples, it also has other components like domain, instance, schema and keys. We will come to know about each of them in the next slides. So look at this picture. It gives a pictorial representation of what a table is. So as I was saying, the column is also known as attributes, is also known as field, and the rows are also known as tuples and also known as records. So with this table you will get an understanding of what it looks like, what a row is, what a column is. Now if we talk more about a database table, a database will have one or more tables in it. And the table is the most significant component of any RDBMS. And it is where all the data are stored. So as I said, the table constitutes of rows and columns, and each column represents attributes of the entity. Now let's talk about keys. Another important feature, another important component of a table. So a key is a data item which uniquely identifies a record in a table, and whenever we have to fetch a record from a table, we use keys to fetch it. So keys can also provide several types of useful constraints. For example, a unique key constraint can help avoid enter a duplicate value. Now there are multiple types of keys which a database support. Some of them are candidate key, primary key, foreign key, unique key, alternate key. Let's try to see what are these keys, and we'll try to dive a bit into each of them. An attribute of a set of attributes that uniquely identifies a record is a candidate key. So for example, there is a customer transaction table. In that table, customer ID plus store ID, location ID, all these are the candidate key. Now let's try to see what a primary key means. So a primary key identifies each record in a table, and it will never be same in two records in a table. Now imagine there is a customer table and customer ID will always remain as the primary for that particular customer in a table. Moving on, let's try to see the difference between a candidate key and primary key. So candidate key can be any column or a combination of columns that can qualify as unique key in database. However, primary key is a column or a combination of columns that uniquely identify a record. There can be multiple candidate key in one table. However, there is only one primary key in one table. Now let's try to see what a foreign, alternate and unique key means. Foreign key are the column of a table that points to a primary key of another table. For example, in customer table, customer ID in customer transaction table points to the customer ID in customer table. An alternate key is a candidate key that is not considered as a primary key. However, unique key is an attribute or a set of attributes to uniquely identify a record in a table. This is similar to a primary key but can contain a null value. Now, this is an important feature. Note that in primary key, the value can never be null. However, in unique key, it is quite possible. Let's try to understand what a domain is. A domain is a set of values that an attribute can take. An attribute would never accept any value outside its domain. For example, in a bank customer table, the field account number will only accept integer value if you give the domain of the field as integer. Apart from data type, you can set constraints to the attributes as well. And these kind of constraints are known as domain constraints. When we talk about schemas, a database schema is a blueprint that represents the logical view of a database. It defines table and the relationship between them. A database schema is broadly categorized into physical schema and logical schema. Now, what is physical schema? How a data is stored in actual storage is described in this. And what is logical? It pertains to the logical constraints that need to be applied to the data stored. Now let's try to see a record in a table. Now each row in a table is a record, which is also known as tuple as informed earlier. Each record is all of the information for each object, say a person or a product. Now for example, see the image and the table mentioned there. So that one, the Donald Duck 555 Quack Street Mallard 65 is a row and is a record. Now let's try to see what a column means in a table. So the vertical section is a column. So each column in a table is an attribute, is also known as attribute. So for example, the last name section over here is an attribute, is a column. Now let's try to see some of the common SQL command groups. So first one is DDL, which stands for Data Definition Language, and it is used for creation of objects. Next one is Data Manipulation Language, which is used to manipulate the data. Then comes DQL, which is used to retrieve the data. Then is the Data Control Language, which is used for the assignment and removal of permissions. Now what permissions are these? These are the permissions to access, modify the data. Then comes the TCL, that is Transaction Control Language, which is used for saving and restoring the changes to a database. These are some common SQL data types that are used in SQL. char, varchar, text, int, float, double, date, date time, time, all these are the common SQL data types. We'll be using each one of them as we proceed further with this course. Now let's look at some of the SQL command. In DDL, four main commands are create, alter, drop and truncate. In DML, it's insert, update, delete. DQL is select, DCL is grant and revoke, and in TCL, it's commit, rollback, save point and set transactions. We will practice each one of them in the upcoming lessons and we will know more about them. Thank you and see you in the next lesson.